They thought she was just an old black lady with a soft voice and a shaky step. You know the type they think they can push around? Yeah. Big mistake. Real big. Mrs. Thelma Brooks was 74, lived alone in a tiny house on the east end of Dalton, Georgia. Everyone on the block knew her. Sweetest thing you'd ever meet. Always baking for the church. Never raised her voice. But that afternoon? That was the day 2 rookie cops messed with the wrong woman and had no idea who her son really was. It started like this. Thelma had just walked 2 miles in the heat to cash a check. Her roof was leaking, and the repair guy said cash only. So she pulled out over $3,000 from the bank and tucked it deep inside her coat. She was halfway down Birch Street when a cruiser pulled up. Sirens off, windows down, and that smirk. One of those, we're doing this because we can kinds of looks. Ma'am, step aside for a routine search, the taller one said. Didn't even ask, just grabbed her grocery bag. Thelma tried to explain, but they cut her off, said she matched some description from a call that never existed. Next thing she knew, her coat was being ripped open, and the envelope with her money? Gone, just like that. They left her with a warning not to walk around like a target and sped off like cowards. Now, Thelma didn't call 911. She didn't cry either. What she did was go inside, lock her door, and pull out an old number she hadn't dialed in 6 months. Baby, she said when he picked up, they took my money. Let me back up a sec. Her son, Mateo Brooks, hadn't been home in a while. Folks thought he was off doing contracting work overseas. What they didn't know was that Mateo used to lead Black Ops recon missions for military intelligence. Smart, lethal, and calm, like still water before a storm. He landed the next morning, didn't say much. Hugged his mama, made her tea, and started asking questions. Real quiet, real methodical. By sundown, he'd pulled street cam footage from 3 different corners, flagged the license plate of the cruiser, and knew exactly who those 2 boys were, Officers Klein and Daniels. Fresh out of training, cocky, dirty. But here's where it gets wild. Mateo didn't go to internal affairs right away. Nope. He staged a setup. Called in an old favor from a buddy named Reggie, ex-cop turned whistleblower, now driving a church bus. They posed as a retired couple carrying donation cash for a youth shelter. Parked in the same neighborhood. Waited. Guess who pulled up 30 minutes later? Same boys. Same routine. Only this time, the fake couple had tiny mics in their lapels and a drone recording from a church rooftop. Klein reached for the money. Daniels laughed and said, "These people never learn." That line alone, career-ending. The next morning, everything went public. Footage, audio, names, badge numbers, boom. The mayor had no choice but to address it live. The department suspended them instantly. Thelma? She was invited to City Hall for a formal apology. They handed her a check for the stolen money, plus $10,000 in restitution. Cameras flashing. Reporters begging for a statement. But Mateo? He didn't say a word. Just stood behind his mom in that sharp gray coat, arms crossed, eyes locked on the chief like he could see through him. When someone asked if Mateo planned to press charges or go after more officers, he finally spoke. "I'm not here to punish. I'm here to protect." And just like that, he walked out. No applause, no drama, just silence and respect. A week later, Thelma's house had a brand new roof, a security system wired into her son's private network, and a porch full of neighbors dropping off pie and flowers. But not everyone was clapping. Word spread that some folks in the department were planning to retaliate, and that's when Mateo disappeared again. Except this time, folks say he's still around, watching. Now let me ask you, when justice has to come from the shadows, what does that say about the system? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Mateo right to take things into his own hands, or should he have trusted the law? Let's talk about it.